Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. How are you doing? How is it on your side where you are? Good afternoon. Good morning, because I know it's morning for some people, and good evening, because some other people it's evening. Thank you for joining me this afternoon on Growth Habits with Ngozi. My name, of course, is Ngozi. My name is Ngozi, and I am your personal guide on the journey of growth. I remain your personal guide on the journey of growth. I say that I'm your personal guide because I'm not your coach. You know that coaches don't play. They don't play. They don't get on the field. They only tell the players what to do and they watch them do it. So I don't just tell you. I go right alongside with you on that journey. So that is why I say that I'm your personal guide on the journey of growth. So who is here with me this afternoon? Do let me know. As you join, let me know that you are here. Let me know where you are joining me from. Let me just confirm that the volume is okay. Usually I do a check because if I wait for somebody to tell me, sometimes there's a lag. The only tell awesome. Yes. So yes, is loud enough. So welcome once again to Growth Habits with Ngozi. I I say it every day, and it is the truth. I am your personal guide on the journey of growth. So we started a new series last week called Conversations. This series will last quite a while because it will be conversations on different things. But for this first portion, we're having conversations on leading edge. That's developing the leading edge, being able to lead. So we're talking about leadership generally. We started last week by just doing an introduction to the topic. Please, like once again, as I said, if you join, let me know you're here. Let me know where you are joining me from. You know, sometimes, I don't know why it happens, but sometimes when people join, I can't see until they comment. Then I will see that, there are people because when I finish the live sessions and I go back, I see that people joined, but I never saw their name. So I didn't know that they were, in that session live. And also for those that will watch on the replay, I want to thank you specially also because sometimes it looks like it's just the people who are watching live, but you that settle down later and watch this program, I am grateful for you. Thank you for always watching the replay. Thank you for I get some feedback and sometimes people ask me, why, you posted a video, 2 likes. You posted a video, 50 views. That's not, I'm like, forget, leave it. Leave it for me because there are some feedback I get offline and I know that people are watching and I know that people are being, receiving value. They're being blessed. They're receiving value from what they are hearing. Um, the kind of people sometimes that actually tell me, oh, I watch your program. Like, really? Because I feel that one, they are not social media people. Then two, I don't know. I just feel they're a little above my kid. So I think, but they watch and they get value and they tell me offline. So honestly, I don't bother that when I check 1 like or 3 views. No, by the time I come back like next week and look at this week's live, I will see 200 views, 300 people watched. So thank you all. Those that join live, those that watch the replay, thank you. I am grateful. I am eternally grateful. And I thank God for the privilege to be able to share knowledge and knowledge that is valuable to someone. Sometimes we think we really don't have anything, but when you begin, when you take a step, you will see that you do have a lot to share. You have a lot to give out. So thank you for joining me and thank you for getting back to me, giving me feedback on the things that you have learned. All right. So as I was saying, we started this new series called Conversations. And we will continue it for a long time, truly, but on different aspects. So this time we're talking about leadership, the leading edge. What gives you that leading edge? What makes you a leader above maybe any other leader? Excuse me. So last week we started this discussion and we just did an introduction on what is leadership. And we said that it's the act of guiding a team or individuals to achieve certain goals. And this is done by directing them or motivating them. Oluwadoyin Shola, I hope I got that name. Opebi, thank you for joining. Welcome. I'm glad you joined us this afternoon. I hope I got your name right. Please tell me if I got your name right. So we said that leadership is that act of guiding a team or individuals. It could be a group of people. It could be just one person. And you're guiding them to achieve a certain goal. And you do this through direction, directing them and motivating them in that action to achieve that goal. We said that it's a skill that can be cultivated. Yes, some people are born with leadership skills, but it is a skill that you can cultivate. It's something that you can learn. It's not as if you're not born with it, that is it. You can learn to be a leader. You can learn leadership and you can apply what you learned and you will be a good and effective leader. All right. And we mentioned some of the qualities of an effective leader last week. We mentioned the things that are generally expected that an effective leader should have. And this week, let me try and recap a few other things we talked about last week. I'm rushing because what I have this week is so I don't even know if I can finish it in one session. Truly, I'm hoping I can finish it in one session, but if not, we'll continue next week. Because I thought leadership styles were just like 2 or 3, to be honest. This is why it's important to grow, it's important to learn, it's important to update yourself. I've always known leadership styles to just be maybe 2, 3, 4. I don't think I've ever known more than 5 leadership styles. But as I began to research in order to have this conversation today, I saw that they're up to 11. Shocking for me. So I hope I'll be able to discuss all 11 leadership styles. But anywhere we reach, we'll stop there. And then we will continue the discussion next week. I was trying to mention some characteristics, of an effective leader, some of the things that I expected for an effective leader to have, some of the qualities that will make you an effective leader. And we mentioned flexibility last week, to be able to adapt to changes, to situations, to circumstances, and to adapt quickly. It's not just adapting. You have to be able to be nimble in the adaptation. You have to be able to be quick on your feet. We talked about empathy, being able to put yourself in other people's shoes, trying to feel what they feel, being able to understand, people's emotions, why they are doing the things they are doing, why they are feeling the things they are feeling. And I want to believe I mentioned that before you can actually understand another person's feeling, before you can put yourself in another person's shoes, you have to be able to understand yourself, your own feelings and your own emotions. We talked about being decisive. To be an effective leader, you have to be quick to take decisions. You can't be dilly-dallying on decision making. You have to be quick to make decisions. Then you have to learn to communicate. Communication is key. You have to be able to pass across information in a way that people understand. I believe I mentioned that, you should be able to describe complex principles to like a 3-year-old or somebody in nursery school, and they should be able to understand what you're saying. Then you know that you're an effective communicator. So to be a really effective leader, you need some of those things. So I think I want to just go straight into what we have today, which is leadership styles. The different styles that a leader can use to lead. The leadership style talks about mostly like the behaviors, the methods with which a leader uses to guide, to direct, to motivate others, to manage others. Welcome, Princess Ella. Welcome, Kelechi. Good to have you here this, okay, it's afternoon here, Princess Ella. I don't know where you are joining me from that you're saying good morning, but good morning to you. It's afternoon here in the beautiful city of Port Harcourt. All right. So I was talking about leadership styles, and I said that it's basically the methods and the behaviors that a leader exhibits while directing, motivating, managing, and leading people. So your leadership style, can be, you can have combination of leadership styles. Let me put it that way. It doesn't have to be just one leadership style that you exhibit. You can embody one, two, three. Some people exhibit, embody more than three leadership styles. But the aim is to find the one that suits you best, because there is no best leadership style. There's really no best. Before, we used to think that there is a best leadership style. We used to teach that there is a best leadership style. But in all honesty, there is no best. There is best for the situation. So, yes, there is a best style for whatever situation you find yourself at that time. So, there is a need to understand that so that you don't trouble yourself in, oh, which one is the best? Let me apply that. Different situations truly require different types of leadership styles. And, in your lifetime, you might exhibit 4, 5, 6 different leadership styles. Honestly, it is possible. Why is it important for you to know your leadership style? Well, it helps you. It helps guide you. It helps guide you because, and it also helps you to know how you relate with people. Yeah, that thing I don't know why I'm struggling with words, how to explain this, but it's important because it helps you understand how you think, how you work. It helps you understand how you relate with people, how you make decisions. That's why it's important to know your leadership style. And it's also, you usually generally get to know your leadership style from feedback. Sometimes you think you're exhibiting one leadership style, but by the time you ask the people you are leading, you will get the real feedback and you can know truly what leadership skills or styles you are exhibiting. So I'm just going to go straight and begin to mention the different leadership styles. Like I said, I found out that they're up to 11. I did not know there were this many before, but as we go on, anywhere, like I said, anywhere we are not able to complete, we'll complete it next week. I'm thinking how I'm going to be able to go through the whole 11 leadership styles today, but let's just go and see how far we can go. So the first leadership style that I have here, like I said, it's not in any order. It doesn't mean this is the best. It doesn't mean this is the worst. It doesn't mean this is the most effective. I just decided to list them in some order. Okay. So the first one is the democratic leadership style. This is also called participative or facilitative leadership. Now, before, we used to think that this was the best leadership style, because the democratic leadership style, is a style that the leader considers all the teammates' input in making decisions, in deciding what to do. You consider everybody's input. You don't just take unilateral decisions. You consider the input of all your team members. And but of course, the final decision is on the leader, but he takes input from everybody. And we used to think this was the best leadership style. It used to be thought that this is the best leadership style. But I want us to understand that, once again, there is no best style. It's only the best for the situation at hand, the best for the current state where you are or the current situation you find yourself in. There are some things that characterize a democratic leader, and that is one, they're inclusive. From the definition, you can see that they're inclusive. They want to hear everybody's opinion. They want to get everybody's input. They are collaborative. They like to work with everyone. They don't go alone. They don't go it alone. They collaborate with all their team members. They are effective communicators because, I mean, for you to be able to take all the inputs of everyone, you have to be able to communicate whatever the vision is to everyone. So they are effective communicators. They're empowering. They like to empower people. Of course, when you ask people their opinions and all that, it means you want to make them feel among. You want to make them feel they are part of the team. And generally, democratic leaders are also supportive and empathetic. They pay attention to their members. They pay attention to what is happening with their members. Okay, and they're generally emotionally intelligent, connected with being empathetic. So that is a democratic leader. Why does this style work for businesses generally? Because, in most companies, in your board setting, when you come for a board meeting for a company, everybody contributes. So this leadership style usually works in a company because it mirrors that board setting. It mirrors the ability to take in everyone's contributions before a final decision. Okay, yes, Kelechi, leadership style is only best for a particular situation, right? So it mirrors that board meeting set up. So that is why it is good for most businesses that a leader exhibits the democratic leadership style. And because it creates room for open discussions, it creates room for feedback, the democratic leadership style. So yes, it works. And, most decisions might be, made open to votes and all that. So it works for most businesses because of that tendency. It also works for teams. Let's assume that you're not in a company or in a business per se, but you're just in a team that needs to achieve one goal or one aim, a team set up for any purpose. A democratic leadership style also works there. Because of course it encourages everyone to participate. There is no one person that does everything. No one person knows everything. Everybody is encouraged to participate. Everyone's opinion is considered. But now, given this, there is also a potential challenge or disadvantage of a democratic leadership style. And that is that because you always want to have everyone's input, sometimes it's difficult to arrive at a consensus because people are different. Let's assume you have a team of 10, 15 persons and you take everyone's opinion. Sometimes it's difficult for everyone to agree, which makes decision taking hard, which makes decision taking more complex. And remember that one of the qualities of an effective leader is the quickness, decisiveness, quickness in taking decisions. And a democratic leadership style kind of stifles that quickness of decision making because you're waiting to hear from everyone. You're waiting to get input from everyone. Okay, so that is one of the potential challenges of a democratic leadership style. It generally makes decision making slower. Once again, this means there are situations that this is the best way to go. There are situations. And there are situations where a democratic leadership style will just slow things down to a crawl. What makes you an effective leader, let me not say good leader, an effective leader is your ability to know what style to apply to what situation. So when you are in a situation where decisions need to be taken quickly and, there's no room for a delay, there is no time for delay, a democratic style might not be the best. It might not be the best in that situation. This is why it's important for you to understand all the leadership styles, if possible, be able to imbibe as many as you can, so that as situations change, you can adjust if the need arises. Okay, so that is the democratic leadership style. I think I will mention the basic ones we know first, and then as we go, we'll begin to go to the newer ones that I saw later on. So we all know democratic. I'm sure we've all heard it before. The next one is autocratic leadership, which is like the opposite of the democratic leadership style. Generally, it's also called authoritarian and commanding leadership style. Authoritarian and commanding leadership style. This is, like I said, it's like the direct opposite of a democratic leadership style, because in this leadership style, the leader makes the decisions. It doesn't need your input, does not need the input of any of his team members, does not even request for the input of any of the team members. He goes ahead and takes decisions and does what needs to be done. I know this sounds like, this is bad, but there are situations. Remember, once again, there are situations that need this kind of style, because there are sometimes you need to take quick decisions and you don't need to wait for everyone's input. Remember that what makes you an effective leader is your ability to know when to switch styles if necessary. Because you do have to switch styles sometimes. It's not every time you'll be democratic. Sometimes you do need to be autocratic. You need to be autocratic in your leadership style. So the autocratic leadership style means that you do not consult. You just go ahead and do what needs to be done. Generally, it means that decision taking is concentrated in one person, the leader. Decision making is concentrated in one person, and it's just top-down communication. You take the decisions, you inform everyone else. You don't ask for their input. There's minimal to zero delegation. Minimal to zero delegation. There's limited authority for team members, for team members. You are not giving them room. You're not giving them any room, your team members. You are doing everything by yourself. And because of this, there is limited feedback, if any. There's no room most times for feedback in an autocratic leadership style. There's hardly room for feedback, because once again, everything is concentrated at the top. All decisions are taken at the top. Remember that none of these leadership styles are completely bad. None are completely good. I don't really like classifying things as good or bad most times, except, absolute truths. Those ones are different. But for a leadership style, there is none that is completely bad. There is none that is completely good. There are good aspects of each one. Like I said, if you need to maybe there's a need to do a quick decision, something that is very, very time sensitive and there is no time to consult. If you don't have the ability to be autocratic, in quotes, in that situation, you'll find that probably you miss maybe a deadline, you miss something that you're supposed to get. So you have to have an aspect of the autocratic leadership. And there are times that is what needs to be applied. Like, especially like in an emergency or in a crisis situation, you can't wait for everybody's input if there's an emergency. You can't wait for everybody's input if there is a crisis. You need, as the leader, to take the decisions necessary and move on. You don't even wait for feedback at that point. The feedback can come later. But at that point that there is a crisis situation, there is an emergency that needs to be dealt with, there's no room. There's no room to wait for everyone to bring in their contributions. So that is a situation where the autocratic leadership style is necessary. Ngozi Abanelo. Oh, Abanelo Machiku. Sorry, almost did not complete it. I need to complete it. Ngozi Abanelo Machiku, thank you for joining me this afternoon. I'm so glad that you are here. So, this, like I said, this particular autocratic leadership style works best in crisis situations. But there are people that even in the normal situations of business, of life, they apply the autocratic leadership style. And most times it doesn't work. Most times it doesn't work because you don't give people the opportunity to contribute. People don't feel a part of the team. People don't feel a part of what is happening. And when people don't have buy-in to anything, they do it anyhow. There is no buy-in, so they don't have to do anything. All right. So, like I said, this is mostly best applied in crisis and emergency situations. Autocratic leadership style is not best fit for general decisions, general team activities, general management of people. Normally, the autocratic doesn't give you the best, doesn't generally give you the best, truly doesn't. People like to be made to buy into decisions. And when they don't feel that buy-in, they feel no responsibility. They feel no responsibility to do whatever it is. They feel no responsibility to make the team work because they feel they're not part of it. All right, so that is the autocratic leadership style. Whew, I'm truly trying to rush through all these leadership styles. One thing that generally characterizes this autocratic leadership style is what is called micromanagement. That is, you sit on top of people, even when you do give them some kind of buy-in, you sit there and you try to basically do the thing you have told them to do. You know, you give people assignments, but you still sit on top and basically do it because you're insisting they do it exactly how you want and nothing else. So that is one of the challenges involved in the autocratic leadership style. And then it generally intimidates people. Generally, it intimidates people when your leadership style is autocratic. People are intimidated by it because they feel they can't come to you. They can't tell you anything. They have no buy-in. They have no buy-in. So they cannot take responsibility for anything that happens in that organization, in that team. So those are the pitfalls of an autocratic leadership style. I go on to the next one, laissez-faire leadership. This is also called delegative or hands-off leadership. This is different from democratic or laissez-faire. I'm sure we remember in our secondary school days, we were taught about laissez-faire. We would have heard it. Okay, thank you, Ngozi. Thank you. Say happy to hear my motivational speech. Okay. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm glad to have you. It's been a while. It's been a while that you were here live. Okay, I was saying that laissez-faire, if you remember from our secondary school or high school, if you're not in Nigeria, we were taught about laissez-faire, and laissez-faire is a French word, and it generally means let them do, as per. Let them do. So a laissez-faire leadership style just cedes responsibility basically to whoever the followers, cedes authority to the employee, to the follower, to whoever is in your team, to your team members. You cede your authority, you cede your responsibilities to them, and you allow them to do. And a laissez-faire leader basically does not even interject, does not really get involved much in that thing that he has ceded out to the followers or to the team members or to the employees, whoever happens to be in your team. That is the laissez-faire leadership style. Now, this has some good characteristics, of course, because generally it means that there's limited guidance. You're not on top of people's head. There's limited direction. Also, you've told them what to do and you've left them to do it. There's minimal interference. If you're exhibiting the laissez-faire leadership style, there is minimal interference. And you give people autonomy, you give people freedom, you empower them, you show them that you trust them to do the right things. These are generally the characteristics of a laissez-faire leadership style. Works good in businesses, yes, because it gives people incentive to do their best work. Generally, I say that because there's a caveat to it. Generally, when you exhibit laissez-faire leadership style, you give people the opportunity to, be their best self, be the best version of themselves. You give them that privilege and you allow them to run with it. You allow them to do what they want to do. Basically, you have given them the instructions, you have told them what you expect, you have shown them your expectations, and you let them do it. Yeah, so that is the laissez-faire leadership style. And yes, like I said, it creates most times a very relaxed culture in your team. Generally, people are comfortable in a team where the leader exhibits a laissez-faire leadership style. Generally, people are comfortable. But you see, this fits best in a situation where your team members are highly skilled already and highly effective already. Because when you exhibit laissez-faire leadership style on a team of people that are not already skilled, that do not have the required skills needed or enablements, you will probably get shoddy job. You probably get shoddy work out of them. So this laissez-faire leadership style works best when your team is highly skilled and highly efficient already, because you can commit things to them and go to sleep and know that they will do it, and know that you have nothing to worry about. They will deliver. That is where this works best, because remember, you are not really guiding, you're not really monitoring. You just let them go ahead. You're not interfering, you're not exhibiting much control over them. Just let them do their thing. When your team is filled with highly effective people, highly skilled people, this is the best leadership style to apply. Let them do the thing they know to do. And you find that in a lot of, like all these tech startups, you see this kind of leadership style exhibited most times in these tech startups, because everybody generally, when they are starting like all these tech businesses, they start with people who already know. They don't start with people who don't know anything yet, that they have to begin to teach. So they start with people who have some knowledge, if not expert knowledge of what they are doing. So this kind of leadership style works excellently in such teams. So, yes. If once again your team is not already highly skilled and you have a lot of novices in your team, this might not be the best leadership style to apply. No, because when you leave people without guidance, without direction, and they don't really know what to do, you will have a mess on your hand, truly. So have that in mind. Have that in mind when you're exhibiting this leadership style, or when this is already your default leadership style. Have it in mind that it only works, or it works best. Let me not say it only works. It works best in teams where the people already know what to do. They're already highly skilled and highly efficient. Of course, like I said, this style kind of does not encourage team development, because everybody's working there, doing their thing. There is really no team feeling. No, we're all working together. A is doing his own thing, B is doing his own thing, C is doing her own thing. There is really no coming together as a team per se. because everybody is efficient doing their own things. Okay, so that's one of the potential challenges of a laissez-faire leadership style. Then it also makes for a blurring of responsibility lines, because roles and responsibilities can become blurred when nobody really checks, nobody really guides. Everybody's just doing their own thing. Everybody's just doing their own thing. So it's very easy for roles and responsibilities to become blurred in this when you're exhibiting this kind of leadership style. And once again, it can encourage people working in how's the word I want to use now, in like silos, each person on their own doing their own thing. There is no need to consult the next person. There is no need to even ask what the next person is doing. You're focused and you're doing your own thing. So this leadership style kind of encourages that. And while this can be good, it can also lead to, people not having a real culture where they work. They're not having real culture in the teams that they belong. It can cause people not to have a sense of togetherness in their teams. Okay, so that is laissez-faire. As I'm looking at the time, I'm seeing that I will not be able to finish this 11. I will not be able to finish this 11 leadership styles today unless I run through them without much explanation, and I wouldn't want to do that. But let's see how far we can get. Number 4, strategic leadership style. Please let me know if you're following. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask the questions. If you have something that you didn't quite understand, go ahead and ask the questions, and I will try to explain as we go on. So number 4, strategic leadership style. Now, strategic leadership style requires that the leader have vision, is adaptable, and has competitive awareness. So a leader that exhibits strategic leadership style sees ahead and doesn't just see today, sees the growth opportunities, sees the possibilities, and leads with that in mind. Does not lead with the mind of where we are today, but he's seeing the future of the team, he's seeing the future of the company, and he leads with that in mind. That is a strategic leadership style. You lead with the future in mind. Such leadership style makes you highly focused on long-term goals. Highly focused on long-term goals. And because you're focused on long-term goals, you begin to work out ways to achieve them. You begin to think forward. You're agile, you're fast, you adapt if need be, but all your focus, your adaptability, your agility, all those things are funneled or tuned towards the future goal, the future you see for the company. So if you're someone that is not able to see ahead, you can't even exhibit strategic leadership style. It only works when you are able to see ahead. You are able to see the future, and you're able to also maneuver to get to that future. So that is the strategic leadership style. This works, yes, works excellently, but it works best in a situation where goals and aims and objectives are known, one, and future plans are made ahead. If you work in a team or in an organization where there's no focus on goals, there's no focus on objectives, there's no focus on aims, most times strategic leadership style would not serve well. Because, as I said from the beginning, a strategic leadership style focuses on the future, and the aim is to get from here to that future. That is their laser focus. So if those things don't exist, that leadership style wouldn't really work very well there. So yeah, in teams that um, really don't do planning, that really don't have a vision for the future, a strategic leadership style wouldn't serve the best. But so this style also helps motivate the team members, the employees, whoever. It helps motivate them because you keep them future focused, you keep them striving to achieve aims, to achieve goals. So yeah, that is the strategic leadership style. Know that one of the challenges of this leadership style is because you're thinking in the future most times, because you're thinking of future possibilities, you're focused on risks a lot. You're focused on things that have not even happened. You're focused too much on the future possibilities that at times you lose sight of present realities. This is one of the pitfalls of having a strategic leadership style. The present day issues, the present day realities, you can lose sight of them because you're so future focused, because you're so driven by the vision, by the goal that you're trying to achieve. So, and sometimes you find it difficult also when you're exhibiting this leadership style to delegate, because you feel, this vision is with you, it's you that knows it. So you find it difficult to even share it to another person to carry. So you wind up bearing the burdens alone because you're a strategic leader. You see the future, and it's not always easy to, pass across what you see to others. It's really not. So if you're exhibiting this leadership style, the tendency is for you to go it alone, because you find it difficult to pass this across to others. And even when you do, they never seem to carry it with the same burden as you. They never seem to carry it with the same understanding, with the same sense of urgency as you do. So you find it difficult to delegate. And the people you lead many a times feel pressed, feel pushed by you. By you. All right. So that is the strategic leadership style. See, you can see that in each of the styles I've mentioned, I give you an advantage and I give you a disadvantage of it. Because remember, there is no one style that is completely bad. There is none that is completely good. And there is no one style that is the best. But you can have a style that is best for a particular situation, best for a particular time. And what makes you the effective leader? What makes you the effective leader is your ability to exhibit more than one leadership style as the need arises. Okay, so I run again to number 5 out of 11. God will help me today. Out of 11. So number 5 is transformational leadership style. Transformational leaders gain the trust and confidence of their teams because their aim is to encourage their team members. Their aim is to move people to the next level, to lead whoever is in their team to the next level. Transformational leadership style is not just about, we have a goal to achieve, but it's the fact that we all must achieve it together. That is a transformational leadership style, is the sense of no man left behind. But remember that when we talked about strategic the strategic leadership style, the strategic leader is not so much interested in everybody coming along, is more interested in achieving the goals. Even if it's one person he achieves that goal with. But a transformational leader, or a transformation person that exhibits transformational leadership style, tries to carry everyone along. The aim is for everyone to go on the journey. A person that exhibits transformational leadership style focuses on motivating those that are in his team, focuses on helping them develop their skills, develop their abilities, develop themselves as they achieve the goals. That is transformational leadership style. And it is said that most people that exhibit transformational leadership style, they leave a lasting impact on the lives of those they lead. Lasting, most times lifelong impact on the life of those that they lead, because their focus is on improving the people that they lead. Transformational leadership style. Now, this works well in a company where teams need to work together, where teams need to achieve things and even achieve them not too quickly, but together. The sense of togetherness. This is where this leadership style works best. When you need to improve like productivity of your employees, of your team members, a transformational leadership style works best in achieving this. Works best in achieving this. Because the transformational leader encourages. A transformational leader supports. A transformational leader helps his team members be their best self. So it's not just about achieving the goals. The goals will be achieved, but the people who are achieving those goals must be changed in the process. That is the aim of a transformational leader. Of course, once again, there are some potential challenges to this form of leadership. Many a times, a transformational leader also loses sight of the individual learning curves of each person. Because he's trying to help everyone, he's trying to carry everyone along, sometimes they lose sight of individual learning curves. We don't all learn at the same pace. We don't. We all learn at different paces. So a transformational leader or someone that exhibits transformational leadership style needs to be careful that they don't lose people's individual or lose sight of people's individual learning curves in trying to carry them along, in trying to get them to be their best self. Because it's easy to lose sight of that when you're exhibiting transformational leadership. And it's also very easy to have people burn out when the leader is a transformational leader, because he just wants to go. You need to improve yourself, and because their drive is to get you to improve yourself, they'll be pushing you to do better, to do more. And it's very easy to lose sight of that individual and how far you have pushed them. It's very easy to lose sight. So when you're exhibiting transformational leadership style, you must keep this in mind. If not, you will have burnout of your team members. So in being a transformational leader or in exhibiting a transformational leadership style, keep in mind people's benchmarks, keep in mind people's learning curves, keep in mind people's learning styles. There's a lot, but you do have to keep those things in mind. If not, this very good style, this apparently good style, this style that's meant to favor your team members could actually lead to their burnout. Okay. So that is transformational leadership style. Number 6, transactional leadership style. Now, a transactional leadership style is based on rewards and punishments. That is what you use to motivate, and that is what you use to direct behavior. Rewards, and punishments. That is transactional. You give me, I give you. If you are good, I reward you. If you are not good, I punish you. And that is the basis of trying to direct people's behavior, change people's behavior. That is the transactional leadership style. People who exhibit transactional leadership style, they have specific rules, they set specific rules, specific standards, and they monitor people's performance to ensure that they are aligning to those specific rules and standards. And if you're not aligning, of course, you receive punishment. If you're aligning, you receive rewards. So that is what generally transformational leadership style is all about. And of course, generally, if you exhibit this leadership style, you have frequent check-ins with whoever you're leading. You check on them to see if they're meeting up with the tasks, with the rules, with the standards that's been set, which is good that you have the frequent one-on-one check-ins to ensure that people are meeting their goals, their targets, the standards that have been set for them. But many times also, it also means that you're stagnant, because this leadership style is concerned with maintaining the rules, the standards, the status quo, and making sure that the goals, the standards that have been set are met. That is where the focus of a transactional leadership style is, which means I also lose sight of any future improvements most times. They are stickler for the rules. This is how we do it, and this is what is expected. Okay, that is transactional. Yes, this works in some situations. Once again, when you have a situation where maybe a company is results focused, results oriented, this transactional leadership style works, because people, the leader is monitoring, ensuring that the results are met, the structures are kept in place, the systems are kept. So it works there. And, of course, because it has rewards and punishments, it works in that kind of situation. And many a time it also helps, it helps the people who are being led have clarity concerning the structures, concerning expectations, because it's well spelled out. There is no confusion most times when you exhibit transactional leadership style. Standards are well set out. Structure is well established and made known to the people who have to follow it. Now, there are some potential challenges of this transactional leadership style, and because it motivates people by either rewards or punishments, you kind of lose the personal touch. Yes, you kind of lose the personal relationships. You don't build relationships with people much, because when you build relationships, the tendency is for it to affect your ability to either issue out the punishment when the time comes. So you try not to build relationships because you're running a transactional leadership style. Yeah. So, it means that, sometimes there's no team morale, because you have no relationship with people. The people you're leading, you have zero or no relationship with them. And, anybody that is like creative or creative minded will find it difficult fitting into that leadership style, So when you have people who are highly creative in your team, the tendency is for you to um, lose them because they don't do well with rewards and punishments. But we also know that it's good to have some creatives in your team. They help the team move forward. So this is one of the pitfalls of having a transactional leadership style. Number 7, I am truly trying to run. Time is almost up. I might have to end it at number 7, and next week we conclude with the other ones. The number 7 leadership style is coaching leadership style. It's also called conscious leadership. A coaching leader focuses on identifying talents, identifying skills, identifying strengths, and nurturing those talents, those skills, those strengths they see in their members. That is what a coaching leadership style focuses on. And it goes on to develop, the strategies or ways to help those team members achieve or improve on those strengths, those skills that you have seen. Just like a coach in a football match, on whatever sporting activity. You see that a coach identifies the people that have strengths and helps them develop it. So a coaching leadership style does the same thing. It does the same thing. But it emphasizes also on individual achievements, individual successes. That's why, like in a football team or in a sports team, you see that those that have talents are encouraged. It's them that are fielded. It's them that plays more than those that their skills are not noticed. Their skills are not notable. Let me not say noticed. So that is the thing with a coaching leadership style. It helps people truly improve on their strengths because you give them tasks that bring out those strengths. You offer guidance. You help them through gaining those or improving or strengthening their strengths, and maybe limiting their weaknesses. Yes. You encourage them to expand. You encourage them to learn. You encourage them to improve themselves. That is a coaching leadership style. And it also establishes relationships with the team members, because you can't really encourage someone to increase or to improve on their strengths if you're far from them. So it does establish good bonds. It does establish good relationships with your team members. And it generally opens the opportunity for communication, because you have to discuss with them the strengths that you have seen and your plans to improve on those strengths. So it does encourage open communication. It does also encourage the team members to share their ideas. You also get feedback from them on, the things you have told them to do. So this works when especially in companies where, problem-solving skills are needed. A coaching leadership style will help you identify people that have those skills, will help you identify the persons that can achieve the aim, having a coaching leadership style. It also helps in a situation where you have people that are talented, but maybe they don't know it. That is another situation that a coaching leadership style is very, very helpful. Note that in a coaching leadership style, there is focus on performance, high performance, not even just anyhow, high performance. And when you are doing well, it is communicated to you. It's not the one that, you're doing well and nobody tells you. It is communicated to you, and you are encouraged to embrace those skills that, magnify your strength. That is the thing about coaching leadership. But once again, there are some potential challenges that come with that skill. One is that you spend so much time, most times, trying to develop the individual skills, a lot of time is spent on it. Just trying to help the employee, the team member, develop those skills that you have seen that they have. Develop those skills that you have, those strengths you have noticed in them. You spend so much time in that. And you miss out the time needed to, maybe to face other people, because you concentrate on the ones you see are stars in quotes, and you leave the others. So this can be discouraging to the other members of the team. And so everybody is not really carried along. Every member of the team is not really carried along. We see it every day in sports. If you are the star, you are the coach's favorite, and you will always be played. The person that maybe is not as strong most times is just left on the bench. And that is also what happens with a coaching leadership style. You tend to concentrate on those that you see are skilled or you see potential in, and leave the others behind. Wow, time has really, really, really gone by. So I will end it here, and next week we will conclude. We will look at leadership style 8 to 11. Yeah, it's not that many. Yeah, we'll look at that. And then from there, we'll look at the remaining from 8 to 11 next week. Yes. And I'm just thinking, hopefully we'll have time to move on from there and look at how do you even understand your own leadership style. And I hope we can get to that, and how you can even change the leadership style if you already have a particular leadership style. And also, how do you even choose the one that is right for you? I hope we'll be able to attend to all that next week. Once again, this is Growth Habits, and this series is called Conversations. And we're looking at the leading edge, being able to develop the leading edge. And we talked today about leadership styles. We looked at 7, right? 7. Yes, we looked at 7 leadership styles, and we considered how they can be applied, and we considered the potential challenges of each of those leadership styles. And I want you to take away the fact that there is no one style that fits every situation. The important thing is to adapt the style of leadership to the situation. So it's possible for one person to embody 3, 4, 5 leadership styles. And as the situation arises, you adapt and you are able to apply the needed style for that particular situation. That is one thing I want us to take away from today's conversation. There is no one leadership style that is the best. You need to be able to pivot when necessary and apply the style that fits the situation. And what makes you effective is your ability to embody different styles of leadership and apply them as and when necessary. I hope we got value today. I hope I did not bore us with too much information. I hope I did not load us with too much information today. Next week, I said we'll conclude the leadership styles and talk about how you can apply them, how you can choose the one that best suits you. All right. Thank you once again for joining me. Even those that watch the replay, thank you so much for joining me today. This is Growth Habits with Ngozi, and I remain your personal guide on the journey of growth. Probably by next week, I will tell you the leadership style that I have exhibited in different situations and in different circumstances. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have an awesome day today. Remember to make today count, be valuable, and grow wherever you are. And please follow us on all our social media handles: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Growth Habits with Ngozi. Follow also my personal Facebook page where we are having these discussions. I'm trying to see how we can move to StreamYard. I'm still working out how that works. As I understand the platform well, we might have to move to StreamYard so that we can broadcast on different platforms at the same time. Yes. So thank you once again for joining me. I hope you have gotten my book. Please, I'll put up the link to get the book, order the journal, order the accompanying book that gives you the prompts of what to write in your journal. Don't forget it. And my one-on-one mentorship sessions are almost fully booked. I just have a few more slots. Today is the 11th of June. For the month of June, I said my one-on-one 1 hour mentorship sessions are free. But if you need more than 1 hour, then of course, there will be a charge attached. So please, I will also put up the link. Go to my calendar, pick a spot that is still free and still open, and we will have the one-on-one session with you. It's a clarity session in case you need some things are not quite clear about your goals, about the things you want to achieve in the remaining part of this year. Go ahead and click on the link that I will put at the end of this live session. Let's have that discussion. In the month of July, also, I will open up a 3-month mentorship program. 3 months, quick sessions on how to achieve your goals, what you need to do, what are the things that you need to apply, what are the skills, what are the tools you need to apply to ensure that by December or by November you have crushed your goals for this year. That is 3-month mentorship program starting in July. I will also put up the flyer on my page so that you can see it and contact me, and you will be added to that group. Is there any other thing I'm forgetting? I think that is it. So please follow us on all our social media handles. I hope you're enjoying the daily affirmations that I've been releasing every morning. Please say them to yourself and believe them. They are truths. They are truths and they work in your life. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope to see you next week, Tuesday, right here, 12 noon, right here on Facebook Live. Thank you so much for joining me. See you next week, Tuesday. Bye.